Their wagon gets stopped by some of Rhaenyra's soldiers, and Larys is almost instantly ready to suck his way out of the situation. But in King's Landing, Alicent tries to manipulate Aemond into leaving town by calling him a coward and saying she didn't know she had another daughter, and one with such pretty long hair. But Aemond takes this the completely wrong way. The Battle of the Gullet is going well, with ships and men burning alike, as the Sea Snake leads his ship towards they-them's flagship, called the Non-Passable. Rhaenyra decides to take up sewing to kill the time, but she was never any good at it. Them is struggling, so they toss the Lannisters overboard to lighten their load, allowing them to make it through. Nice job, dude. Corlys squares up against them, checks their genitals real quick to make sure it's a fair fight, and he's about to end them when the ship gets torn in half. Baela can't save Jace this time, as Jace learns that water types are very dangerous against fire types. Pokemon taught us this. Jace leaves Vermax to die, not even trying to drag him up. Then, when she realizes he's actually dead, she goes full Ricky Bobby.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold him down by your side. Yeah, great.
And at the end of the day, you gotta be happy.
When they get interrupted by a blue-haired guy celebrating Pride Month, Aegon joins the festivities the only way he knows how, by mounting a dude from behind, even trying, but failing repeatedly to give him a reach around. On Dragonstone, the Dragon Seeds tell Daemon they waited patiently to finish Aemond off, but they just couldn't deliver a climax.
Aemond did not come.
Rhaenyra has been feeling sick and is facing some intestinal discomfort, but Daemon tries to inform her of the latest developments in between her toots.
But there is first more pressing business.
I have no stomach for it.
Rhaenyra, determined, announces that she means to finally fly to King's Landing, but her advisor has to explain that it's called King's Landing, and that a lady queen landing there would lead to all kinds of confusion. There goes the neighborhood in King's Landing as the Blacks arrive. Team Black, that is. Rhaenyra is about to swing her justice down on Otto's neck, but she sneezes at the worst possible moment, leaving a snot trail dripping from her nose in front of everyone. And Otto laughs his head off. Rhaenyra then farts her way up the steps and onto the throne, that in this moment she wishes was a toilet. Then she realizes that she's the queen now, and she can turn any chair she wants to into a toilet. Daemon tells Lord Douche that they only need to get on their knees and suck. Up to Rhaenyra and they may live. But Daemon has one more request, a miniature version of himself.
Breathtaking. I shall call him Mini-Me.
Then Rhaenyra, not fully free and clear of her intestinal issues after all, interrupts the discussion to relieve the growing tension. Later, Rhaenyra has no one to tuck her in, so she just stands there for hours. With Pride Month now over, the flags come down immediately, and it's time for the 3 Dragon Seeds to receive their new nicknames. And after giving Ulf his nickname, Rhaenyra barely holds herself back from blurting out the obvious follow-up nickname for Adam.
Ulf the White?
The next day, she tells the common folk they will no longer go hungry because they're going to eat the rich, before she starts handing out body parts. Rhaenyra then informs Alicent that she intends to send Daeron to the Wall, before rudely saying that Corlys can go with him.
He will take the black.
And having taken over their castle, Douche rises to show them what 2.7 inches of dominance looks like. The lady maintains his eyeline, but her husband is not as strong. Alan brings important news, but gets distracted by the Legos. He's only just become Corlys's kid after all, so he wants to make up for time lost from his childhood. Lord Douche emerges from the sideline after VAR review and elevates the fan's yellow card to a straight red. But he gets waylaid by Caraxes, who flies him to this damp, dark cave that elicits memories of Mysaria for Daemon. Having learned from Larys that the quickest way out of these situations is to suck your way out, Aegon gets on his knees. But the head carny makes him kiss his feet instead, and Larys struggles as his robe quickly tightens around the waist area. Torrhen Manderly is petitioning for more ping-pong throughout the realm when Daemon barges in and plunks Jace's charred head on the table, having misunderstood the assignment. Oh, Jace's killer. Oh. He wants Daeron to prove himself by knighting this fine gentleman, but Daeron kinda screws it up to hysterical effect. Then he waits there awkwardly for a tip, but Alicent just shakes his hand instead. Alicent tries to get Helaena to drink the tea, saying, "Here comes the airplane. I know it doesn't taste good, sweetheart, but you need to take your medicine." Rhaenyra can't even rule over this small class, and when Daemon backtalks her, he gets sent to the principal's office. Then she rushes out to beat him there because she's also the principal. Aemond gives his version of history lessons while moving around pieces of the diorama that Darren meticulously set up, forcing Darren to move the pieces back each time, ending up with them wrestling and the board getting cleared. Then Larys reads him the riot act, telling Aegon he's a terrible king and he's a terrible man and he never takes his boots off when Larys is around. Like, come on! Let me see those twinkle toes. Alicent is trying to negotiate with the White Worm when Helaena says she has to go poopy.
I want to go out.
The window will have to do.
The Lannister Lord tells Larys that it's ironic his name is Tyland because he just spent a lot of time overseas with a ladyboy. Daemon tries his hand at eye surgery, but it's not for him, so he makes a pivot to barber. Cole tries to inspire the other boys to keep playing, but Gwayne's done playing, saying his mom won't let him sleep over, even though he clearly has his sleeping bag. All of a sudden, the other boys yell "time in" and attack. The boys wrestle, and Cole eventually claims victory. But like in everything, he's premature. Ask Alicent. When he's done wiping, he challenges the other boys to a duel when a girl who doesn't know the rules puts an arrow through him. This is why we don't invite girls to play army men, Black Alley. And the other boys celebrate their victory, rushing in to get their grubby hands on the orange slices and bags of chips waiting for them, as Cole has to play dead. Then Daemon doesn't want to hear Rhaenyra's opinions, given all the hot air she's been blowing out both ends this season.
I'll hear no more from those whose greatest battle has been with their own indigestion.
I am of the same mind.
Rhaenyra denies the claim, but her argument soon falls apart.
Ah, and there we have it.
And Daemon gets sent to the principal's office yet again. Daemon is waiting patiently for the feast he was promised when some hungry gold cloaks show up, and they brought the tablecloths. Tyland wants Aegon to flee to Thailand with him, and Aegon asks if he's trying to keep him safe or if he just misses the ladyboys he sailed with, and Tyland struggles to give a clear answer.
There is, in any one of us, much to admire and much to be deplored.
Then she hits on him, but he has other fetishes to sate his desires.
I need to find a horse.
Well, that explains why he chose the horse-faced Baratheon to marry. At Harrenhal, Aemond is preparing to indulge in his fetish when he gets caught, and Alice nut-taps the kid on the way out. In the Elysian Fields, Hugh the Hammer waits patiently for Grand Theft Auto 6, but it doesn't look like he can wait for the game any longer. Out of nowhere, Gwayne murders the lead envoy, claiming that they're assassins. Gwayne has his gaydar to thank for this revelation, saying that he knew the real Aryan Baratheon was way hotter, and Ormond's intolerance of Gwayne's lifestyle bubbles over. Alicent, hoping to at least get one of her children killed, tells Rhaenyra she knows where Aemond is. Then Alicent grabs Ray's arm and the guard says no touching.
No touching! No touching! No touching! No touching!
Then she thinks she sees the gates to heaven opening before her, but it's clearly hell. Rhaenyra startles Helaena awake, asking her what she saw in her dreams. She says she saw Aemond riding a horse, but not in the way you'd expect, Corlys giving his son the finger, and an episode of The Three Stooges. Alicent teleports right into Harrenhal, tired of long, realistic travel times. Aemond is anticipating another Oedipusian kiss with Mommy Dearest, but he gets sun-zoned. And now Aemond gets to play the part of the horse. Now it's Alice's turn to teleport in, as she tags in, and the change in tightness freaks Aemond out. So Alicent introduces him to the horse she rode all the way here, before she wonders which of them has a bigger sword. Then Lord Douche announces he's vegan now, and Corlys refuses to associate with his kind. But Ormond says, wait, fine, I'll try some of the dark meat. The Three Stooges are traveling the old-fashioned way, while everyone else is just teleporting around. Alicent doesn't like her food, and she doesn't even pretend to eat it like a good guest would. Aemond announces his intention to make Harrenhal his seat, and his face will be Alice's seat. Then Mysaria makes a power play, saying she'll field the common people's concerns. And I guess the guards standing right there will just pretend they didn't hear anything. She intends to take her leave.
I will take my leave, if that would behoove you.
And Aemond says, "Did you say hooves?" Rhaenyra is losing a staring contest with a skull when Daemon barges in. Rhaena has aged 50 years and a day. Just a little old grandma now. Doesn't even know where she is. Alan gets a birthday gift from his dad. His own middle finger. How thoughtful. Alice feeds herself before Aemond stumbles in, as it looks like Alicent realized if she wanted to get one of her children killed, she'd have to do it herself. Then she dreams that she's in the music video for Lady Bonnie of Tyler's song, Total Eclipse of the Fart. She visits Mysaria, and Rhaenyra thinks that Mysaria is pregnant after they made out once, speaking to the baby, because she doesn't know how any of this stuff works either. Aegon and Tyland are camping when Sir Squashface and some other boys playing army men on the side of Rhaenyra approach them, telling them to throw down their arms. But Aegon thinks he can't. His arms are still attached to his body, and if they weren't attached to his body, how would he be able to throw them? Outside Tumbleton, Ulf the White Trash and Lord Douche are drinking, and Ulf is so happy he could kiss Aemond, and Aemond flirts back, and the two have a gay old time scheming against Ray as the episode comes to an end. We begin with Rhaenyra sleeping on the job, unless her job is hogging the entire bed from the middle. And Daemon, having just seen the primetime trailer, is doing his best Chris Hansen.
Sit down.
Ray's received news that Aegon and Sunfire are alive, as she cries tears of strength and power. Baela asks Rhaenyra if she enjoyed Mysaria's taco buffet last night, and says she hopes she can partake one day. And Rhaenyra tells her if she strengthens up these jaw muscles, maybe she can. Some Frenchmen arrive in King's Landing to surrender, but Alan tells them there's no battle here to surrender to. Then they reach for their swords. The French will find a way to surrender, and no one will stop them. Then he makes Daeron get on his knees before him, and checks if this is getting Ser Gwayne the Gay excited. Mysaria is also worried about her outfit, but she gets it all together just in time to get deported to Pentos. That's Rhaenyra's style, contort it and deport it. And Mysaria ponders the irony that Rhaenyra is cutting her off the morning after their scissor fest. Helena is trying to hide how high she is with a flood of eye drops, but when she sees Aemond's girlfriend, she struggles to play it cool. Aemond is still recovering from getting sun-zoned last night, as Alice just loves playing second taco to his mommy. So she concocts a devious plan, telling him she's actually 100 years old, which makes her grandmother aged, like a double mommy, and that gets her back on top of the harem hall totem pole. Adam comes to tell Alan that Baela's been grounded until she does her jaw exercises, but Alan says all he cares to do right now is take a shit.
I have no ambition but to discharge my duty.
Daeron and Gwayne look out at the Riverman army as Gwayne is thinking he should not have boosted his grinder profile distance to 30 miles, as way too many dudes showed up. Ulf is nowhere to be found, so Lord Douche tells Roxton to search every warehouse, farmhouse, henhouse, outhouse, and doghouse in Tumbleton. Daemon arrives to raucous applause, even though Caraxes is crop dusting everyone below. Mysaria flees ice custody, while Rhaenyra thinks, well, at least they're calling me queen. Then Daemon chokes out Gwayne. It looks bad, but this is what Gwayne's profile said he was into. Elsewhere, Aemond rushes outside, thinking Vhagar is back from her hot girl summer, but it's just Aegon, and Aemond gets on his knees so they'll be at eye level. This Make-A-Wish kid won a chance to be a general for a day, and everyone just has to put up with it. She goes full Karen, telling Alan to kill this honky. Alan doesn't appreciate the insinuation, but free from duty, he does his duty. Rhaenyra faces the unwashed masses, where she spills the beans on her whole prophecy bullshit, steals the Hightower's words, then announces her own gender transition, before capping it off by shouting the N-word.
Nika!
And Torrhen glances quickly to catch Alan and Orwell's reaction. Rhaenyra is just on a generational run here, folks. Daemon gives his Braveheart speech, but it's interrupted by the Northmen who break out into a heavy metal number that is super cringy right in the middle of the speech. After checking all the warehouses, farmhouses, and hen houses, Ulf is found drunk in an outhouse. He says he didn't have a complete elimination, so Lord Douche helps out by beating the shit out of him. Daemon is fighting Sir Bolcut, and he gets his eye pushed in and then his shit pushed in, and somewhere Gwayne is jelly. He loses his arm, but he uses the stub as a blood cannon before shoving his Lightbringer where the sun don't shine. Man, Gwayne is missing all the action. We interrupt this program to show you Helaena doing arts and crafts. Now back to your regularly shitty programming. It looks like Gwayne finally got some action. A lot of action, as he has to crawl away from the aftermath. And with Helaena dead, Ray now thinks this work of art might be worth something,